initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
Yo, peace of the tribe. What's up? It's your favorite spiritual podcast, number one spiritual podcast, the initiates for the flame. I'm here with my brothers, hardworking spiritual man who are focused on their creativity, inspiring others, and helping others. And if you want to always get in contact with us or a community, join our Discord. As you see the QR code in front and you see it on the banners below. Support to my brothers. They are here, they in and out. They doing things, so me and Breeze here for sure. But don't count them out because they're gonna be here helping out as well. But Breeze, bro, how you doing tonight? Hood, what's the word?
Doing great. Peace, everybody. Happy birthday, Malcolm X.
Yes, happy birthday, Malcolm X. I sure.
I say now. What y'all boys been have going on for this Monday, and how was y'all weekend?
You mean this Moonday?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I mean, everything Gucci, man. I'm excited. You know, got a really short work week. You know, always excited for that. Outside of that, it's always a beautiful thing when the initiates are allowed to come together, especially when it's a matter of breaking bread. And one of the things that I truly enjoy about this collective of individuals is brothers never hesitate to break bread with each other. So I would like to give our shade to the ancestors known and unknown. I would like to give our shade to the people who have allowed us this space and continue to allow us this space. And also, I want to give our shade to my brother Breeze. He put together a pretty extensive piece of work, and I'm excited. He's been talking about it for a while. And of course, you know, we had to keep pulling him down to the carpet to see when it was done, but it's finally done. And the Moonday is in effect. So, yeah, I'm excited. And then this year's are back together, so I'm always going to be excited for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I say, yeah. Shout out to my bro, Big Dog, for really tapping his creative abilities as always. Something he's really been working on, something that he's been building constantly, reworking. So we're going to get in that today. And it's out, you know, if you've been keeping us with the Lunar conversations, with the Moondays, then you probably are already aware of this and ready to get your copy. So here it is. But I'm going to have my bro breaking that to that. But we're all here tonight, and we really just want to talk about some powerful aspects that deal with ourselves and within us. So, Breeze, bro, get a sip on that, man. Like, how can we access that with Moonday?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you everybody for like being patient with me. As they say, life been lifing, you know, but I'm really happy to be able to continue to you know, just work on this project to completion, you know, because I see it as something that could really help people, you know, no matter how much of astrology you want to learn or get involved with. If you want it just to be on the personal side, or you want to just, you know, kind of brush up on like your metaphysical, esoteric understandings of it all, this is for you. But yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now. So AD put. Okay, so it's cover Moonday, a practical approach to astrology. And I just wanted to do like just a little small preview. Um, y'all know I'm always in my Bible, and these couple verses from Psalms 19 really stuck out to me. Um, and I'll just read it. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the stars. And I really feel like these four verses are very powerful because it to me it reminds me of astrology. You know, it's like when you look at the stars, it's something that everybody know, you know, and everybody can bear witness to, no matter what your language is, um, ethnicity, sex, race, whatever. And they speak a language that doesn't necessarily have words, but like I said, we can bear witness to it, and we can extract information and knowledge from it. So I just felt like it was really powerful.
And did you always say like religion and astrology always can't they really can't coexist without each other?
Yeah, I mean, so I feel like religion is like the science split in half almost. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I look at it as just like it's just one science, but once religion was developed, they kind of separated it from science and made it somewhat of a kind of like a duality with it. You know what I mean? They put science against religion, you know, and then the metaphysics kind of was just let by the wayside, even though the metaphysics is science as well. Um, but yeah,
For sure, for sure.
and let me so the other preview I wanted to share with y'all is the mythological astrological page in the book where it just goes over, you know, the Egyptian god Kansu, the Hindu god Chandra, and the Greek god Selene. But more specifically, this paragraph right here. So basically, you know, I'm just talking about how, you know, the moon rules the constellation of Cancer. And in my opinion, it's an honorary ruler of Scorpio and Pisces. And it, you know, I just kind of lay it out. You know, Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune. Um, More specifically, you know, because it's really important. The way I see it is really important to use your tarot cards to study astrology because they're like inseparable. It's almost like tarot cards is literally there as a framework for you to study astrology. So it's like, I mean, it's just that, you know, I think there's no more to really say. Once you look at the cards and you see the symbolism on them, it's self-explanatory. But I do want to read a little bit from here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or unless you have any questions or
Yeah,
any
I
input.
I want to I like how you really getting into that with using your tarot cards to study astrology because it's like when we get into tarot cards, people always kind of miss the first objective with them. You know, they instantly try to get into the readings and see what the cards is telling them from understanding that it's a meditative practice.
Hmm.
So like it's better to understand the cards and yourself through this journey of the cards and then you can get into the readings because you work with them so much within yourself.
Yeah.
It's like chart. You understand your chart so much. That's how you be able to read it to other people and tell other people like, oh, this placement for you just speaks this when I see it.
Hmm. Yeah,
What
and this
was it?
uh
No, I was going to ask you, what was it? What was the intent behind this project?
so the overall intent was to make astrology as simple as possible. I feel like when you get on the internet and you looking and you doing research, you trying to find out like how do I approach this science? Where do I go to learn about this science? I found that it can get very complicated and it can get very hallmarkish for
Hmm.
lack of better words, you know, and I just wanted to create something that made it real simple, um, and to make people feel comfortable approaching this to science, and also more importantly, um, my intent for this project was for people to see themselves in astrology. So that's where the moon tracker chart comes in. um, you're able to track the moon through using tarot and study your chart all at the same time. And it's like one of those things where it's hands on. Like y'all know, like went to school for chemical engineering, but like the classes that I got straight A's in was the chemistry labs. Everything else was B's and a couple C's. But
Mm-hmm.
straight A's, I dominated the lab portion because when I was in class taking exams, I didn't really think so much about the notes or the homework. I thought about the stuff that I did in lab because I did it. You know what I mean? It was muscle memory, and I was able to reference something that I did first person in order to solve problems. So with
Mm-hmm.
this, it's a way for you to have a first person experience with astrology. You know, not that you having someone else's perspective and then you trying to reframe it. You literally creating your own perspective through the moon tracker chart, your natal chart, and tarot.
And you can basically say like this is basically like the embodiment of like gnosis through like this work of esoteric study.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, that's where, to me as an alchemist, that's the end goal of it. You know, to gain that self gnosis. Um, yeah, that's where your power at. That's where you find out why you even here for. And I think
What was
astrology is
it?
just one of the modalities.
What was it about the work that you have done that enabled you to be able to see yourself through reading moon charts and things of that nature?
Hmm. That's a good question. So, so for me, like I mentioned on last week, um, the alchemic academic DNA activation class, that really sparked something for me. And I would even say that video is a prerequisite for this. But for me, I really began to understand it when everything started to mesh. Like, for instance, let me go to pull up the chart. So this is based off of my personal chart. So today at 9 in the morning, the moon was in Capricorn, in the third decan of Capricorn, which is in my fourth house. So for me, I just take this little piece and I just how I want to say it, just peel it like an onion, just constantly peeling it like an onion. Because the moon is the character, the script is Capricorn, and then the house will be the stage, the fourth house. So if I'm just mixing all this stuff up together, it's speaking from a place of, for me, in the way that I see it, you know, the third decan of Capricorn is the power card, which is the Four of Pentacles. The fourth house is dealing with like your subconscious or home. So for me, I'm looking at the home as the physical body. So in a way, it's like doing shadow work, you know, because we know Capricorn is the devil. So you're dealing with that darkness that you're dealing with inside, and that power that you were able to achieve through doing that um, shadow work. Um, I'm trying to think of something else to like answer your question, Serpent. It's just, I guess, just through the repetition, um, really studying myself. Like I said, is really the moon tracker chart is really centered around not so much the transit of the moon as much as it is the moon transiting through your personal chart. So it gives you opportunity not to just like look at your chart like what is this, but it gives you opportunity to do exercises with your chart. You know what I mean? It gives you a chance to look at just, you know, 3 signs on your chart for a week, you know, and to be able to journal about it. Like today, this is how I felt. This is what I did. This is what I tried to get and put into motion. Um, I would also say that the moon teaches you emotionally to not get caught up in just one, because the moon wants to experience all 12 signs, not just embody just one sign. Um, and in this book, I really did my best not to give people too much of my perspective, but give them enough to build their own perspective on it. Uh, so as you work with it, I encourage you to like start defining it on your own. You know, that's the big thing for me. Like I want people to be able to find it on their own, you know, and shit come to some truths that I haven't even came to as far as astrology. Uh, but yeah, so this is the moon tracker chart filled out for this week. So you'll see the moon being Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Um, Once again, these are the signs. And then this is the column for the decans. This is the column for the houses. And then over here, this is just a way for me to keep track of which tarot cards are basically being utilized by the moon during the week. And also I have this chart in here that basically goes over the whole zodiac with tarot cards. And over time, you're gonna have this memorized.
That's
Like I'll be
dope.
able to say, you know, the first deacon of Leo, that's the 5 of Wands, you know. Um, and you'll begin to see patterns and stuff in it. I'm not even gonna tell you what patterns exist in here because it'll spoil the fun, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, so after I get all the tarot cards, then I take the meanings of the cards. Um, and these are the meanings. I like the Thoth Tarot deck because that deck actually has, you know, keywords at the bottom of them, and these keywords come straight from those Thoth Tarot deck. So
Mm.
these are the minor arcana. These are the major arcana.
Hmm.
So Capricorn, Devil, Aquarius is the star. Moon is Pisces. The Emperor is Aries. So I define these cards because these cards don't necessarily have keywords, but over time you'll develop that. There's also another chart in the book, and this is something that I give credit to, like I said, the DNA activation class, filling this chart out. I added some words in here, but honestly, you can, you know, redo it yourself and add whatever you want. Like I said, the minor arcana have keywords to help you start. But over time, you know, you're just gonna be like, you know what? I think this card means this, or it makes more sense if I define it as, or you get what I'm saying? Like, is very fluid as far as you defining it, like a better words.
So the
Um,
more you do it, the more correspondences one will ultimately come upon, right?
exactly. Yep. Exactly. And the more it'll begin to speak to you.
So, and this is basically way how I build synopsis of this information about myself in my chart on a monthly, daily basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, chat. Yeah, I just learned a new word today. You know, the way I just used that mode was pretty fire.
I do also want to say, after you fill this chart out 4 times, 4 consecutive weeks, that's a whole moon cycle. And now, now you have raw data of your chart. Because like what I said last week, when the moon is in Aquarius, for me, it's always in my fifth house, and it's always making the certain aspects that it's always making with other planets in my natal chart. So once you get this information, now you already got raw data to look back on. Granted, the planets are constantly moving, so over time it'll be a good idea to fill the chart out again. But that's just a disclaimer too. Keep the charts after you fill them out, because that's just raw data is good for you to be able to reference it. But after I get the keywords, then I translate it in my own words. And here I just got do shadow work to access one's power. The purpose of this work is to defeat the ego or move past the identity thought construct of self. Um, and through all of this, you're able to move past the helplessness, the laziness, the victimhood, which also will ultimately lead to happiness in one's own power, or dominion over the physical.
So, have you ever dealing with a constant card pulling up, right? With the sequence I'm learning and dealing with, what are like one of your recommendations that a person should do, right? Let's say, like, for example, let's say if I keep experiencing the art card a lot, of course I know it's based off like my own thoughts and what I'm learning from, but like, what if I'm having a hard time studying? I mean, understand this, and join the Discord, because this is what this part is for, talking to everybody. How do I just deal with this constant card popping up?
So with the art card in particular, the route that I would take is like, okay, you have the art card. The art card is
stop talking back.
The art card it represents Sagittarius. So from Sagittarius, this is what I mean by like peeling the onion. When you're dealing with Sagittarius, now I would factor in Gemini. It's opposite. I will factor in Jupiter energy, as well as Uranus energy. And then, wait, I don't even want to make it complicated. Just looking at the artwork on the card. It represents alchemy. It represents taking, the poison and creating an antidote out of it. And in Jupiter or Sagittarius, you're dealing with higher learning, expansion of self. I would even go as far as to, okay, so that's Sagittarius. So what are the tarot cards that correspond with Sagittarius, or what decans? So we can go to this chart right here. 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. So this deals with, I believe the 8 of Wands is swiftness. The 9 of Wands, can't remember. The 10 of Wands is suppression. So it's dealing with basically turning your, for lack of better words, Kundalini energy into something, but getting to the point where I would say like you max out on it. Like 10 of Wands is like you max out on it. It's almost like when you look at the 2 of Wands to the 7 of Wands, is you're working with your energy. And then 10 of Wands is like you hit a plateau. If that answers your question, AD. But this is how I would go about it. If I wanted to know more about the art card, I would consult the 3 decans that make up Sagittarius to get a deeper meaning of it.
Yeah, and then it makes me think about the meditation process one could take and do, like really with the card visualization methods. See, I'm learning new words but can't pronounce simple shit. Yeah, but it goes into that thought. So I really appreciate that, and that does answer that question, because then when you want to like tap into the constellation to a hand to like really meditate on that.
Right. Right. Let me see. Yeah, so 8 of Wands is like swiftness. And this is a good example because this is where the key word is. This is where it tells you like this is in a decan of Sagittarius. And also this is more information. That first decan of Sagittarius is ruled by Mercury. Let's see. Is there a way that I can quickly move through? Okay, and so the 9 of Wands is strength. So swiftness, strength, and oppression. So to me, it's kind of like the swiftness part is like you learning something new, you know, and then the strength is literally like you wielding this newfound strength, you know, or you're taking it a step further, you know, like kind of like learning about astrology, you know, and then writing a book. And then the oppression part will be actually sharing it with people because it's nothing left for me to do but just share it. And I think sometimes the word oppression gets a bad rep, but I wouldn't look at it like that. It also it makes me think of Ecclesiastics chapter 1, where basically the more knowledge you get, the more sorrow you bring yourself, you know.
I can attest to that.
I would look at that as like the last deacon of Sagittarius. It's like once you know a lot, it's really, it ain't, life ain't that fun. It's still fun, but you know what I mean. Let's see if I can even spell Ecclesiastes. Butchering the hell out of that word.
It's okay. I couldn't say visualization a minute ago. I shot early right there.
What word you talking about, Briggs?
Ecclesiastic or
Yeah, Ecclesiastes. You got it
Ecclesiastes.
right.
You saying it right?
yeah.
And also, if you need a tarot deck, check out flameoffshot.com. We do have tarot decks on the site for anybody that needs some and wants to learn them.
For much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. In this chapter, even went as far as saying wisdom is meaningless. It's real interesting. But that 10 of Wands makes me think of that.
In the chat, so Steph had asked, "What are the decans, deacons?"
So the deacons are basically you take a zodiac sign and you chop it up in 3 pieces. We'll go to this. So on this tarot chart, tarot/zodiac chart, you'll see like 3 cards that represent each chart. Those 3 cards are the deacons. And I explained it a little bit more in Moonday. But yeah, just simply put, it's a third of the sign. So basically, once you're studying your chart for a while, you may see that, like for me personally, I have my sun sign in the 2nd decan of Pisces, which is the 9 of Cups.
And does this basically, like, not to like make it harder or more confusing on people, but like you basically say like this would like basically helps understand why people can be the same sign but different because of the decans.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because you got the 3 deacons and then you got 12 different houses. So that's 36 different Pisces or 36 different Aries, if I'm doing my math right. Yeah. And I mean, it's not a drastic difference, but I think they do show up in different ways.
It used to be this app on like the Play Store called Alchemy, and it was
Mhm.
like you had to like put things together and make other things. And so when you're looking at a chart, it's like each deacon is an expression of a planet in combination with that constellation.
Mm.
So what's complicated about astrology when you don't, so some people just look at their chart and try to understand astrology. That's hard. When you
Mhm.
study every single aspect of astrology, so you have to be versed in what Pisces, Aries, all the constellations mean. Then you have to be versed in all of the planets. And then once you get versed in the constellation and the planet, now you're playing alchemy. You're
Mhm.
combining, so let's just look at what were we talking about? Um, two of disc, which is like the planet that's expressed in there is I think it's Pluto or yeah, it doesn't. I don't want to make it complicated, but each and every card has a planetary expression and a constellation expression. So
Mm-hmm.
the constellation is expressed in 3 different ways. So you can have 3 kids, but each kid is expressed a different aspect of you. But it's just like that's astrology. So it can be confusing until you start to understand, oh, I'm mixing Mars with Aries energy. Oh, so you're gonna be extra fiery, right? You gonna be coming with it. Or Saturn in water energy. So you're gonna be emotionally disciplined more than me. My emotions all over the place. This person knows how to have emotional intelligence. So, but in every single planetary aspect in your chart, it's an expression of a constellation and a planetary energy. But then it's like, well, all Aries are the same. Like, come on, let's be somewhat real about this shit. Oh, you a Leo, so that means, come on, what deacon, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What's your moon sign? What's your matter of fact? Let's pull out your chart. We gotta we gotta examine this because you're not about to just say you a fucking
And,
Aries and I'm
and
gonna
just
just be
for
cool with that.
reference, um, Sexy Red and Jackie Chan are both Aries.
Who you say?
Different
Who
type of
the
people.
Sexy Red and Jackie
And
Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
Right, Aries.
yeah.
Yeah,
Make
her
that
shit
make
must
sense.
be in some hot scuba fire jars.
And see, what's crazy about so say for instance, me and you can have the same chart. We can have the same birthday, right? But my
Mhm.
Pluto is going to be my Pluto is in Libra. If you're younger than me, your Pluto is going to be in Scorpio, and so forth and so
Mhm.
on. So that means that even if we was born on the same day, nigga, we are completely different people because
Mhm.
each year the Pluto changes, the Jupiter changes. So
Hmm.
you can't even say, oh, we birthday twins, especially if it's like a 2 year difference, still completely different people because the way of the movement of astrology, it
Mhm.
creates a different vibration altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
I say, man, that's fire. I
Agree.
feel like, not even feel like that just made half of the studies I used to do and still do on like transits and nakashastras and decans. And just how y'all explained it made it so simple without me having to do all this jargon intake just for me to get like one simple thing. It's just that.
Yeah, yeah.
And for reference,
Astrology is life.
it is. And when Hood brought up Two of Pentacles, so right here, this is the Capricorn glyph. Oh, and also it's a court card that's associated with it. But the Two of Pentacles, this chart even has the planetary ruler of each decan. So the first decan of Capricorn is ruled by Jupiter. The second decan is ruled by Mars. The third decan is ruled by the Sun. And it even has, for people that's interested, the different angels. So it'll have actually an angel and a daemon for each deacon as well. But like I said, it can get as complicated as you want it to be. That doesn't mean that you have
Mm.
to, you know, get into that particularly, especially
Right.
when you're just learning. You know what I mean? Like you said, like learn what the signs mean, learn what the planets mean, and
Mhm.
you can really do that from working with your tarot cards. And like I said, alchemic academic class, man. Go watch
So
it.
you have Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun as these deacon expressions, but when you combine Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun, guess what you have as an alchemic expression, Capricorn. And you could do
Mm-hmm.
that through the whole entire chart. So it's not even something like the system have to be perfect, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when it's confusing, that's just like, damn, I gotta study more. I gotta fully understand what the fuck I'm
Right.
reading because the internet is gaslighting me, making me
Yes,
think like I'm this type of person or I'm that type of
yes,
person, but I don't even understand why they saying what they saying for real. Like
yeah.
it's like when you want to grasp astrology, deal with what everything means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, you do got to build that key, that reference board, and constantly go back to it because that's how you remember it. When you going down the street for the first time, you looking for them cues, that map you saw, that McDonald's, all that crap. And then when you constantly keep looking get off your maps, you know the way because you kept looking at it so many times, referencing, making notes.
I don't think niggas really talk about astrology fundamentals enough. You feel me? Like niggas always want to be like
Facts. Facts.
extremely advanced, and then it's like,
Facts.
well, how'd you get to that advanced concept? And you're not even referencing fundamental aspects that even make sense. So now it's just like if I just picked up a ball and I was like, yeah, this ball represent black people and our ascension to the throne, like I can say that and mean that. But I swear to God, I was just on bullshit. I just made some shit up.
Right.
And I correlated it to the ball representing black people. So I was like, bro, it's a gift and a curse with this shit, man. Because like
Yeah.
you said, Breeze, the more knowledge you have, the more grief you have. Because like if you been understanding astrology for fucking 20 years and you still like, damn, it's just now hitting me. And then a nigga take a
Mm-hmm.
class and he like got a certificate and he an advanced astrology master.
That
And
nigga
you
doing
know,
$5 readings every day on
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah, he got his
Yeah.
TikTok following up.
Yep.
His Instagram is going crazy. He marketing shit. He paying for ads, nigga. We lost as a people, nigga.
Yeah. All facts.
Hey, hey,
All
they
facts.
said, they said, they said the 11 niggas that broke out of the joint in New Orleans, they was all Geminis. I said, I'm done. I am so done
What
with
the
you niggas
hell?
on these internet streets. I am so done. Who the fuck took the time to find out what all of these niggas' astrological signs was, right? Like, my nigga, if you got that much time on your hands, like we are not the same. Like
Yeah.
I can't, bro.
Ooh.
The thing about
11
being around the
Geminis.
Gemini, hey, what is the makeup of Gemini? What's the planetary configuration of a Gemini? Because I swear to God, if you
It's I
ever
think it's like
link,
Mars in there. Uh
They different, man. They different,
they
man.
different, bro. The Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. The Eight of Swords, that's Jupiter. The Nine of Swords,
Same as Capricorn.
damn, isn't it?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost the same as Capricorn.
but
Yep.
thing is that's expressed in
A
air, so
different
that's
order
all
though.
mental energy, bro.
Right. But what do we know about what do we know about the fundamental aspect of all magic, as above, so below?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you understand things mentally is how you going to create. See, these concepts are expressed through tarot, expressed through
Mm-hmm.
astrology. So
Mm-hmm.
when you understand Gemini in your chart, when you understand Capricorn in your chart, when you study these aspects, well, I don't have no planet there. What house is it in? All right, figure out your house and situation in reference to like just you going to figure some shit out. If I think a certain way, I'll create a certain way because I'm
Hmm.
expressing my Mars, I'm expressing my Jupiter. What does Jupiter look like to you? Are you social? No, hood, I don't fuck with people. All right, cool. Then Jupiter don't apply to your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Really
Like you
don't.
don't
Yeah.
gotta be
No, for real.
social. You know what I'm
Right.
Jupiter is super
saying?
expansive, nigga. Like,
Like you gotta get out there. Oh,
you
my
got
son, how I
to.
express myself, how I'm think like, and you think of like the swords is your mental, your airspace. So like fully controlling this area and then figuring out what house it is in your chart, right? This is a big like how you think is what you create. You
Mm-hmm.
that is a universal law of fact. You feel me?
Yep.
That is a manifestation fucking ritual right there.
Mhm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
And that's
anything
why
from manifestation comes from what you think, you feel, you say, so forth and so on. Absolutely.
I see why they talk about the importance of banishing rituals so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like why they bring it up in so many books that relate to magic.
Yeah, banishing the coldest thing in the world. That's
Mm.
it gets so deep that you feel like that's the only spell you need to do,
Yep.
or
I was about to say that.
that's the only concept that you want to deal with banishing. Like it's a
I feel
negative
like
energy. All right, banish it.
I feel like a banishing ritual is the thing that you should know, like regardless of anything else. You know how you might forget the ins and outs of a particular spell, but you should know banishing like you know your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because there's
Mhm.
always gonna be shit that you just gonna walk into and you just don't have no wherewithal about. But once you realize you in that shit, you're like, oh hell no. I need to get these niggas up off of me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because they were talking about that with what just came up this week. Oh, with the DDG shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right before the shit came down the pike about what's going on with Haley and what she's doing, DDG received a package from Jay-Z, and
Oh.
it was a bottle of Ace of Spades, right? And it had a real encrypted note that went with it. He didn't read it to his streamers, but niggas noticed that after he got that shit, accepted it, and then read the note, like his whole demeanor and everything changed. So there is something to be said about knowing and mastering a banishing spell, because something just as simple as you accepting a gift from somebody is inviting something into your fucking frequency that probably, if you were aware of it prior to, you wouldn't have allowed that shit in. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
something as simple as just accepting something from somebody is letting something into your fucking space.
man, that's like sinners. The vampires, can I come in? The door wide open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Can't make this shit up,
it's
man.
like and then but like look at the expression of these cards, especially in the Rider Tarot deck. These are the most saddest, depressive cards in reference to why. This is universal mind control, in my personal opinion. Have people automatically attribute how you think to a negative connotation, right? Yo, Gemini expression, which is your primary thought projection. Like, think about when you was a kid and you wanted some stupid shit, and your mom said, "No, you can't have it," and to how you process that versus to how you, when you grow up, you like, "Damn, I knew I could have processed that shit better," right? Versus to now,
Hmm.
when you was a kid, you probably caused things in your life that you can't even repair. You know what I'm saying? Relationships in your life you can't even get back because you was acting like an asshole. So it goes more to say like learning magic is so powerful, but it defeats the point, bro, if you a negative thinker. Because all
Yeah, if
you
you
going
got
to
bad
create is
self-talk,
negative manifest. Yeah, if you got bad self talk, leave this shit alone. Because
Yeah.
that's a personal thing, bro. That's something you gotta uncover within yourself to really be thinking like,
facts,
damn, I don't really like myself, but then I want to do a
facts,
spell. That spell, no
facts.
matter what your intention is, it's going to pick up on your subconscious relationship and it's going to create that. So, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
talk bad about yourself, you want to get into a relationship, you're going to create a, a nigga that's going to talk shit to your ass. You created that
Word.
shit, and people don't want to take responsibility for their life. But Breeze, you a nigga that went to college. That's something that not even college is one thing, but chemical engineer, that's a whole nother level of this nigga really went to college. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
No, for
Yeah.
real.
Like this nigga really learned what he went to school for, right?
Yeah.
Like this nigga
yeah,
didn't go in for
like,
PE and come out a Wall Street exec, right? Like this nigga
yeah,
really went to
like
school for what he learned.
you gotta be intentional throughout that whole entire process, or you probably seen more niggas crash out than succeed because yeah,
Hmm.
I want to go to college, sound good. More than all right, we got an exam on Tuesday and then we got another follow-up on Wednesday, and you got
Word.
2 hours to study. So have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to read a whole lecture book and then be able to do an exam on it. You mean the 300-page book? Yeah, be ready for
Yup.
it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
100
Yep.
pages. Fill in the answer. You don't get multiple choice to essay
Yep.
questions the whole time, and it better make sense. And if it don't, we're gonna fail you out of this bitch, and and, and we don't
and
give
if
a
you
fuck.
and if you're not a
Literally.
nigga that don't do well with surprise exams, then don't come. Don't just don't. Like, yeah, just forget about it.
If you can't study, you're not gonna make it in college. You're gonna
That's
be in
it.
college like you're going to fail. Because
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that first exam that you take that you didn't study for, that you thought is high school, you can wing it, nigga, you're going to fail, and you're gonna be really sitting at the shit where like, yeah, we can't give you no scholarship with D's and F's, my boy. So what you gonna do? Oh, I guess I'll just drop
Word.
out. I guess I'll just go home, right? Because you got to be so intentional to say, damn, I got to really fixate and focus my life on a getting this degree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
most people don't have what it takes. And that's how they siphon out people in real life.
They
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
call it weed out courses, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Call it weed out courses, and it'll be something where they'll make the class unreasonably difficult. I remember I had one class, man. It was no homework. It was just 3 multiple choice quizzes, no tests. 3 tests. That was it. It was like 100 questions on the multiple choice um, exams, and it was just like, so if you fail one of them, you automatically get in like a C.
Hmm.
You know,
Damn.
like just shit like that. Or people that go into like the medical field, they'll take the anatomy class and they'll have the kids learning. Like my sister, just graduated with her degree in podiatry.
Hmm.
But they had her studying within podiatry is the foot and the ankle,
Hmm.
and a
Hmm.
little bit like up to the knee.
Hmm.
But they had her in the beginning studying like uh shit in the brain, you know what I mean? Like ligaments in the
Hmm.
hand. And she just like,
Hmm.
damn, like I understand I'm supposed to be well rounded, but like I ain't never gonna have to deal with this,
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
was some people, that started with her and didn't finish with her.
Because them anatomy classes, you literally got to remember up to 1,000 different body
Mhm.
parts and vessels
Yup.
and
In
nerves
Latin.
and know it and
Yeah.
know it and be able to express it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just remember it. So it's like all of this to say, like mentally, the image for what your brain have the capacity to do shouldn't have a negative connotation because the reality is if we teach people the power of how their mind works, we have a society that creates this. But look at this country where I remember growing up watching goddamn Bloods and Crips banging in Little Rock on HBO and things of that nature, giving me a mental outlook on damn, you got to be a gangster out here, some shit like that. And it's like, damn,
Hmm.
that's not necessarily true. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this country, this world, they eat its children. So even in the tarot, I feel like it's expressed in that because it's a lot of like negative ways they view the mind and how it's fully expressed.
Shay.
That boy said 3 tests. He failed one. It's a C.
Crazy.
Off
You better
top,
not leave
bro.
the house. You better be
No extra
studying.
credit, no homework.
And now they garnishing niggas' wages for them goddamn student loans too. It's
Yeah.
scary hours out here.
Yeah, you
Oh
better you
yeah, they
better reach
coming to
out
get
to
that
them.
shit now. They coming to get that shit now. They told niggas that they was going to give them
Don't ignore them
forgiveness
people.
forgiveness payments and all that. Yeah, until Trump and Elon got in the office, now all them colleges want their bread. They like, nah, son, it's been 20 years. Let me get mine.
Oh
Nah, for
yeah.
real.
Do not ignore them people, man.
Don't ignore them people, man. You know how niggas ignore hospital bills? Do not ignore the college, my nigga, because you go get
Yeah.
you a job and think you good until da-da-da-da, you see that garnishment next to that number, nigga.
You don't want
Yeah,
that.
Hey, BTA. That's all they know when they come to their
yeah.
bread.
Just like they coming to get y'all for them PPP loans, they coming to get y'all niggas for them school loans.
Look, that's why I stayed away from them PPPs, man. I ain't seen so much.
Some niggas still ain't recovered from them PPP loans, man. RIP to them. They ain't dead. Their energy is just scattered.
Yeah, they didn't think it was gonna be this serious. Like
Yeah, that shit came
you ain't
back
gonna
on their
never. Yeah, like you ain't gonna never be
niggas
able to
thought COVID
explain
was
that
the end of the
away.
world.
Yeah, so like you just took a random 50 grand, right? Like just a random 50
Yeah.
grand,
Didn't invest it
and
or
you didn't
nothing.
need it. You didn't
Didn't
need
need it.
it. You brought like
Didn't
15
need it.
pairs of Jordans. Like you didn't
Bought
Niggas
need it, my
niggas threw
nigga.
that in
clothes,
the
Like,
trap and smoked through the
travel.
shit.
Niggas got
Yeah, got
mad
high,
Hennessy and mad wings,
got drunk,
right? Niggas got mad Hennessy and wings. Niggas did mad weekends at the
got
club,
full,
mad VIP
had
sections, and
fun.
all that.
Niggas doing tricking. They're like, yeah, wait till I see Shorty.
Like, how
Boston
how you,
vagina.
yeah, like how you brag about the bag and then you lose the bag in 2 weeks, nigga. Like niggas, niggas got to do better, bro.
Did not invest that PPP loan. That is so crazy.
Right. 'Cause you could have finessed it.
Could have got it. You could have started your business with that 50 grand. And
Hmm.
then when
Man,
they did
actually
the
been safe.
paperwork, you would have been cool. Like, yeah, I actually had to help Shanice pay her rent. Like it was crazy. 2020 was wild. Like, oh, you got stabbed? Yep, Shanice. Like, okay, okay. Like, we forgive you, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga's bought clothes. Shit
Damn.
crazy.
Bought a G
Oh
wagon.
man.
He got repo.
No, I think I remember this song about by Benny the Butcher remind me in my head because he wrote like the 10 Commandments, but he was like, only buy shit that could be sold. You can't buy no
Yeah.
clothes and resell them.
Not for real.
Nobody gonna want no old ass shirt unless you T Grizzly or Michael Jordan or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're getting a top designer or something like that. But yeah,
Man,
if you getting them, but that's hella money. But for real, like you might be broke, you know what I'm saying? But you got the possibility to make money if you buying things that you can sell. Shit, you could do a lot of things if you got goddamn inventory. But if you ain't got no inventory, shit,
Right.
you out here looking stupid.
I remember when I had my farm growing. It was my mycology farm, all medicinal. You know what I'm saying? And I was moving my spot, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to close this down. But my inventory was so big, man. I'm like, well, this gonna be this section over here from encapsulation. This gonna be given to this over here. This with this for the food supply. Like, I'm like, then if I don't eat this within like 2 days, I'm gonna just sell it. It was like awesome. Imagine being like a herbalist and you actually grow your own herbs and you put your hard time into it, and then you realize it's a supply that needs to be handled. That's you.
Hmm.
Some people don't like using their niche and turn it into something that could pay them, but I feel like that's a gift, in a way, because it's like you creating a currency and a frequency based off your creativity. Most people don't get to do that because they don't see that within themselves. They don't think they're talented. So, and talking about talent today, it's like I realized talent is something that's like this will and desire that's within you that can be formed and turned into being talented.
Yeah. And you just as and you just got to be able to cultivate your energy and not waste it on frivolous things. That's what it comes down to, like what we rapped about on Saturday. You know what I mean? You can either choose strength or you can choose lust.
You can't base your own independent ability of talent or that you have talent on popularity. And I think that's
Yeah,
the issue with a lot of people. They think that if they don't have a bunch of people egging them on and cheering them on to do something, then that means that they're not talented.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Don't worry about that high school cloud. It ain't gonna get you no money. It's gonna get you some likes on Instagram.
Them shit's not even real.
Like monopoly money.
Somebody shit clapping. I ain't gonna lie. Pause.
Well, it's like when you study like the lust card, which is ruled by the fifth house, and lust could be lust for many different things, but I guess to develop a specific talent, you gotta have lust for yourself, lust for your cultivation. Just like you gotta really be in love with yourself to spend that time to cultivate whatever that talent is that you want to express it as. You know, maybe it's writing, maybe it's singing, maybe it's dancing. That's just one level. The next level is you got to get out there and work out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get better. You got to strum on that guitar. Like, you could practice learning how to play a guitar for 2 years. I promise you, you'll be proficient at it, and that would be a talent that you have. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "Well, I'm
Hmm.
not talented. I can't. I don't have no talent." You sound stupid to me because it's like, where do you think talent come from? Like, you just got. If I'm not naturally talented, I'm just not talented. Like, most people aren't naturally talented in shit. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have to cultivate that thing that you want to get talented in. That is strength. That is lust. So
Hmm.
I'm lusting after myself to stretch my boundaries of who I think I can be. I can't sing. You can get singing lessons. You can develop a singing voice. Everybody have a singing voice. It's the voice that you have when you sound that you sing. But you can get it in pitch. You can tune it. You can scale it. It's an
Hmm.
instrument. I
Hmm.
can't. I don't have no talent. What if what like people be gassed when they say that shit? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
they not really understanding. Like Michael Jackson practiced how to dance. He practiced. Michael Jordan practiced shooting and playing
Mhm.
back. He practiced that shit for hours. Mike
Hmm.
Tyson was in the gym for hours.
For
Nah,
hours.
he just naturally talented. Well, yeah, probably, but still, if that don't matter. It didn't. The natural talent don't translate to shit if you're not in the gym for hours.
Hmm.
And you know what's crazy? This beginner was talking to me in accent. I was like, you know, what am I supposed to do? This not working, da da da. And I was like, there's this saying that people always say, and it might be corny and it might not mean shit, but it mean a lot. But just keep showing up.
Hmm.
You just gotta keep showing up. And I promise
Yeah.
you, 5 years from now, somebody gonna walk in the gym or some dude that got some ring gonna walk in, you gonna fold him and you gonna be like, dude, like, I don't know how I'm doing. I guess I just kept showing up. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
You gotta keep
Yeah.
showing up.
Just put yourself in the space of whatever it is you want to become proficient at. You will surprise yourself in the long run. But I think when people try to be quote unquote naturally talented, I think that's very much so like the darker side of Leo energy. You know what I mean? People that just like, man, I ain't good at it. And yo ass only been doing it for like a month and not even every single day in that month. And you just want to turn away from it because you're not really good at it.
So you could basically saying like naturally talented is like somewhat of illusion in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that some people are in a line to where like they do gravitate to the things that um they're naturally talented at, but naturally talented don't mean that you're superior or good or able to really dominate in whatever it is you're doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just means that you might have an easier time studying or practicing. You know, but yeah, that don't matter because it could be someone that's not naturally talented but already got in 10,000 hours and they teaching you everything that you know.
Yeah, I look at that. I look at that naturally talented shit like pretty privilege. where
Yeah.
a lot of people who are naturally talented, they use that shit as a scapegoat or a reason to not go as hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And it gives off a false sense of bravado to
Mm-hmm.
to a point where it's like, because I'm so naturally talented, I could take chances where nobody else takes these chances and still get away with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I think it does the listener a huge disservice when they hear naturally talented, because if you never had any reason to cultivate any sort of talent within yourself, you automatically think that you can never accomplish these things because it's not natural to you.
So bullshit. We waste our lives thinking that shit just supposed to come natural to us. Bitch is supposed to come natural. Money's supposed to come natural. Talent's supposed to come natural. Niggas don't be having no bitches, no money, no talent. Like, when is it gonna happen for me? When is it gonna be my time to shine? Like, nigga, never, because your ass
Yeah.
never cultivated it. You never
Yeah.
went. You never had a lust for it. You never got out. You never expressed Jupiter in your chart. You just was. I'm anti-social, bro. I don't fuck with people, man. People are fucking shady. It's like, all right, bro. Good luck with that ideology, bro. Like, you just
It's
gotta
like,
you just gotta fight. You gotta say fuck it, bro. You gotta put your what is that? Put your trouble to the wind or something like that. Like shit, you need people in this world,
Mm.
regardless.
yeah,
Shit.
yeah. I mean, the strength slash lust card is also called fortitude.
Hmm. Fortitude is. I never heard of that. Historically, it was called fortitude,
Intestinal fortitude.
Courage in
courage, and
pain
pain.
or adversity.
Right.
Oh man, that's
That's crazy,
powerful.
right there. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it ain't about
'Cause think
talent; it's
about
about
how
fortitude.
Fortitude is that thing that keeps you going on the days that you just like fuck this shit.
Hmm.
right. It's that part of you that's like, shit. I'm not going to give up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop. And think about how many people done saved their life by cultivating their talent out
Mm-hmm.
of fucking fucked up situations. Even if it is going to school, niggas be like, niggas in the ghetto don't go to school. The
Yeah,
fuck?
it's a movie. And it was based off a true story, and I think it was called damn, but it was a chess movie, and it was called The Kings something. But this dude, he just got out of prison. He started a chess club. He loved to play chess in prison, all that good stuff. Ended up creating that chess club, and everybody started going to it, and it helped the community and the kids. You know, was he good at chess from the beginning? No, but he got the hours in constant study where he was able to teach other people, and then soon later help other kids win tournaments and national championships to get scholarships too from playing chess.
I mean, how many niggas go to jail and come out award-winning lawyers and shit? Like these niggas ain't
Yeah,
had that talent before they went there.
yeah,
Like they cultivated that shit because they felt like they didn't have any other choice, right? I mean,
Basically, all the rappers too. When you think about it in a sense, and lifestyles that some of them had. And of course, if you want to build fortitude, I suggest using herbs to help benefit that, because a lot of us need that intestinal fortitude, like Big Bro said.
yeah.
and that's actually a muscle. You know, you practice not getting your way, but still going after a particular thing, even though you know you're not going to get your way, eventually you get to a point where that muscle is impenetrable, right? And then once you get there, then you understand that adversity is just a part of the game, right? Getting knocked down and losing is just a part of the game. It just makes the victory that much more
Mhm.
fulfilling, right? It just makes it
Mhm.
that much more worth it because you know everything that you had to go through in order to get there. The
Mhm.
problem is that with a lot of people, they do things with their eyes and don't do shit with their body. And so when you look at something and you like something and you want something, you don't necessarily understand why you want that particular thing. You probably don't even care why you want it. You just know that you want it. And then when you don't get it, you're depressed, you down, you out, you fucked up, you just, you just can't go on and you can't go forward. Well, that's the whole purpose as to why fortitude is that much more important because there are so many people that have gotten knocked down more times than they've gotten up, and they just ended up giving up along the way just because they just assumed that that's just how it was going to be. When the old adage is, you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every
Yeah.
shot you don't take, you miss. So as far as I'm concerned, I would prefer to be a Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson type, you know what I'm saying, than the dude who's just going to pass the ball just because people think I should pass the ball.
He said away. He said fuck big bro without saying fuck big bro in a way he said fuck big bro. But I ain't gonna say it because when I say fuck big bro, it's like you gotta be careful speaking about him, but fuck him anyway, little brick, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's fine. I got love on
Who are
LeBron.
you talking about? Who you talking
LeBron
LeBron,
about?
yeah.
Iverson.
I got
Oh,
love on
oh.
LeBron. I just love hating on LeBron for fun because a
Oh
lot of
yeah, I
people
do
like
too. I do
a lot of
too.
people
I do
like him,
too.
man.
That
Hey
shit funny as
man.
hell. They
Yeah.
sending that meme around the internet. The internet is undefeated, nigga. That shit with him in the servant outfit, the female servant outfit. They sending that shit all over the internet. Talking about he left the country because of this PED shit coming down the pike. I'm like, yo, they
Oh.
got it out. They got it out for LeBron, bro. Word to mother. He having a bad year. Like he had to battle with Stephen A. and Kevin Gates, nigga, in the same month.
Dang.
Everybody doing them like the Warriors, how they did the Warriors when they basically won with that super team. They like they sold for that. That's what they get. That's basically what they doing LeBron now. But any more questions in the chat or anything y'all want to break down with everybody, y'all? I feel like this was a fire show. Big bro dropped the heat Moonday, and I can't wait to work with everybody inside the Discord. I know he can't wait. So just chat with us. We'll be in the Discord. Email bro. Email the initials for the flame. Check out Hood. Check out Servant. Just get at all of us, and we all be there.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent, Sacred Serpent Media, flameonshop.com, all of your spiritual tools, all of your cultivating tricks. Um, please jump on this moon day. This shit is flying off the racks. I just got another sale a minute ago. So
I say
yeah,
we burning
please
that
jump on that
cinnamon.
moon day. He needs to go. That one he needs to go.
Yeah, but of course, y'all get your urban nootropics from flameonshop.com. The 5 for 55 deal. Limited time. We'll be taking it off soon, so get it while you can. Get the whole kit. Detoxing kits coming up soon, and different more products coming with the herbal sites. And of course, if you having time and having a good time understanding your chart or understanding your chart more, hit up the guys, hit up Breeze, especially if you get his book. You know what I'm saying? He'll love to work with you, and you can book a consultation with him or flameonshop.com so you can do more workings with the book and your chart and have some help with that from the teacher himself.
For sure. Thank y'all for your time today, and we'll be back. We'll be back.
Initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
You underestimated your child. You underestimated your child. You underestimated your child.